Picture this. You are 35 years old. You pull into your driveway after another 12-hour shift. The engine is off, but you do not open the door. Because the last place you want to go tonight is your own home. Your wife has not touched you in months. Your kids barely notice you exist. Every conversation turns into an argument. So let me ask you, how did marriage, the promise of happiness, become the prison of modern men? How did the dream of family and success turn into silence, rejection, and disrespect? Stay with me, because what I am about to share is the truth no one dares to tell you, and hearing it now might save you from the biggest mistake of your life. Let's start with the first and most fundamental problem. Marriage transforms men into worker drones. This isn't exaggeration. This is what happens to millions of men every single day. Here is the cycle. You wake up before dawn. You spend 8 to 10 hours grinding at work. You fight traffic home. And the second you step through the door, you switch into house servant mode. You clean. You cook. You fix. You help with homework. You carry the weight of 2 full-time jobs. And what do you get in return? Not appreciation. Not respect. Not even a meal waiting on the table. You get complaints, criticism, disrespect. Think about how insane that island. In the past, marriage was a partnership. The man provided resources and protection. The woman provided domestic support and nurturance. Both roles were respected. Both were essential. But now the male role has doubled and the female role has vanished. Men are still expected to be the primary providers, but also co-parents, co-housekeepers, and emotional support systems. Meanwhile, wives are told to chase their own careers and dreams with no obligation to support in return. The result is predictable: exhaustion, resentment, a slow death of a man's spirit. And here is a psychological truth. Men need respect like they need oxygen. It is not optional. It is hardwired into the male brain. When a man feels disrespected, he begins to collapse from the inside out. Emotionally, mentally, physically. This is why men chase success. Why do they work insane hours? Why do they push for money, titles, status? It isn't shallow. It isn't greed. It is about respect. The respect of peers. The respect for their environment. The respect that fuels a man's sense of worth. But here is the bitter irony. The very institution that was supposed to provide men with the most respect, marriage, has become the place where they get the least. Inside the modern marriage, a man's opinions are brushed aside. His decisions are questioned. His authority is undermined at every turn. He is treated not as a partner but as a child who needs supervision. Imagine this. A man works 60 hours a week to pay for a family home. One evening, he suggests holding off on a major purchase. His wife rolls her eyes and says he doesn't understand the family's needs. Decades of life experience. The role of primary provider. All counts for nothing. Now ask yourself, would you ever treat your boss like that? Would you ever dismiss a paying customer like that? Of course not. Because in every other area of life, we understand that respect is the foundation of healthy relationships. But in marriage, disrespect has become normal. Expected. Even celebrated. Turn on the TV. Watch any sitcom. The father is the bumbling idiot. The clown who cannot make a decision. The wife is the smart one. The capable one. The one who cleans up his messes. That story is repeated so many times that nobody even notices it anymore. But the message sinks in. Men are too stupid. Too selfish. Too incompetent to lead their own homes. And what is the result? The man becomes a passenger in his own life. He carries all the responsibility for the family's well-being, but none of the authority to make the decisions. He is blamed when things go wrong, but ignored when he tries to set a course. Think about the psychological torture of that position. It is like being told you are the CEO of a company but forbidden to make a single executive decision. It is madness. And yet, that is exactly what millions of married men live with every single day. From a logical standpoint, modern marriage offers men no incentives and enormous risks. Let's break it down. Companionship. You can get that by dating. Sex. Statistically, it drops dramatically after marriage. Children. You can have children without a legal contract. Social approval. That lasts 5 minutes. But if it goes wrong, You lose half your assets. You pay alimony for years. You risk losing daily access to your own kids. You lose authority in your home. You lose intimacy. You gain stress. When you look at it this way, what rational man would sign up for this? You are trading freedom, authority, and wealth for what? For a fairy tale that no longer exists. This is why marriage rates are collapsing among educated men in America. Not because they are afraid of commitment, but because they are smart enough to see a bad deal when it is in front of them. One of the darkest realities of modern marriage is this. Sex disappears. They call it the sexless marriage epidemic. And it is real. Studies show that anywhere from 20 to 40% of marriages in America are essentially sexless. That means couples sleep together less than 10 times a year. Think about that. You commit your life to one woman. You give up every other option. And then, year after year, she slowly withdraws the very thing that motivated you to commit in the first place. This is not just about physical release. It is about feeling wanted, feeling attractive, feeling like your partner actually desires you. But when your wife turns away, when she rejects your touch, when she stops making any effort, the message is clear. You are not desirable. You are not worth the effort. You are not a man in her eyes anymore. That rejection cuts deeper than most people realize. It eats at a man's identity. It tells him he is invisible in the one place where he should feel most alive. And here is the cruel twist. You cannot go elsewhere. Society says you must stay faithful, no matter how little you receive in return. So you are trapped. Your needs are unmet, and you are forbidden from seeking them outside. It is a life sentence of frustration and rejection. Many men try to fix it. They buy flowers. They cook dinners. They go to counseling. They pour out their hearts. But the truth is, the structure of marriage itself removes the woman's incentive to keep trying. Why would she? She already has everything she wants. Financial security, social status, commitment she cannot lose easily. Why put in effort when the contract guarantees her the benefits regardless? This is the ugly reality no one wants to admit. When security is absolute, effort dies. And the damage goes far beyond the bedroom. It spreads into every corner of a man's life. Because when he no longer feels desired, he begins to lose drive in every other area. His career, his friendships, even his health. That is why so many married men end up overweight, depressed, and burnt out. They are not weak. They are human beings slowly suffocating from emotional starvation. But the betrayal does not stop there. Society has spent decades programming men to accept this misery as normal. From the time boys are in school, they are told their natural instincts are toxic. They are told to suppress their desire for respect, leadership, and authority. They are told to sit down, be quiet, and serve others without recognition. Turn on the TV. The man who demands respect from his wife is portrayed as controlling. The man who expects loyalty is called insecure. Any display of masculine authority is labeled abusive. And the legal system enforces this programming. Family courts across America almost always side with women in custody battles. Divorce settlements strip men of their homes, their savings, their retirement. Even when men are good fathers, they are reduced to weekend visitors in their children's lives. So the message is hammered in from every direction. At school, in the media, in the courtroom, men are told they are disposable, replaceable, worth less than the women they married. And most men do not even realize it is happening. They apologize for wanting respect. They feel guilty for having needs. They swallow years of neglect and call it love. But the truth is darker. Chronic disrespect destroys men. Not just emotionally, clinically. Psychologists know that repeated humiliation and rejection lead directly to depression. Not the kind of sadness you shake off, but the clinical depression that steals energy, motivation, and hope. This is why male suicide rates spike in middle age. Because so many of those men are married, and so many of them have been told their misery is their fault. Imagine it. You work 60 hours a week. You provide everything. You sacrifice your health. And the reward is contempt. The reward is a wife who mocks you, children who dismiss you, and a court system that will crush you if you ever walk away. This is not love. This is psychological torture. And society not only ignores it, it encourages it. Women are told to stand up to their husbands, to never submit, to put themselves first. Respecting a man is framed as weakness. So the disrespect becomes endless. And what happens to the man? He breaks. Some fight back, only to be painted as abusers. Some run, only to be called cowards. Most simply shut down. They freeze. They become shells of who they once were, going through the motions of life, while dying inside. And no matter which path he chooses, society blames him. If he argues, he is controlling. If he leaves, he is a deadbeat. If he stays silent, he is pathetic. There is no winning. This is the trap of modern marriage. No authority, no respect, no intimacy, and no escape without destruction. The irony is that fixing it is simple. Respect your husband. Value his opinions. Acknowledge his contributions. Show him affection. Basic human courtesy. But because culture has programmed women to believe that respecting a man makes them submissive, most refuse to do it. So the cycle continues. Men suffocate. Women grow resentful. Families collapse. And society pretends it is all normal. This is the perfect storm. Emotional starvation. Financial risk. Legal bias. Cultural conditioning. All designed to crush men where they should be strongest. In their own homes. And until men wake up to this truth, the pattern will not end. The only real solution is the one nobody dares to speak aloud. Do not enter the trap in the first place. Here is the cruelest part of the entire system. When men finally collapse under the weight of this disrespect, society does not offer help. It offers blame. A man who argues for authority is called controlling. A man who leaves is branded a failure. A man who stays silent and depressed is mocked as weak. There is no acceptable way out. And yet, every man reacts somehow. Some fight. Some flee. Most freeze. But all of them break in the end. This is not love. This is not partnership. This is psychological warfare disguised as family life. Think about the insanity. You are told you are the leader of the household. You are held responsible for its survival. But you are stripped of every tool that leadership requires. You cannot set rules. You cannot make financial decisions without resistance. You cannot even expect basic respect without being accused of abuse. That contradiction is not just unfair. It is destructive. Because holding someone accountable while denying them authority is torture. It erodes their confidence. It hollows out their identity. It drives them into despair. And the consequences are visible everywhere. Middle-aged men in America are the highest risk group for suicide. Divorce courts are filled with men who lost their homes, their savings, and their children. Alcoholism, drug abuse, silent depression. These are not random tragedies. They are the predictable result of a broken system. Imagine building a house for 20 years. Every paycheck. Every ounce of energy. Brick by brick. And then one day, a court hands the keys to someone else. And you are left standing on the street, paying for a home you no longer live in. That is the financial reality of divorce. Half your assets gone. Alimony checks every month. Child support on top of that. Retirement savings drained. And often, the family home awarded to the wife. Many men never recover. They move into small apartments while still funding the lifestyle of the family they lost. They become financial slaves to a contract that was supposed to protect them. And it gets worse. Children are turned into weapons. Fathers who love their kids, who pay every bill, are reduced to visitors. Weekend dads. Powerless to guide, powerless to protect. Forced to watch from a distance as another man eventually steps into their place. The psychological wound of losing daily contact with your children is deeper than any financial loss. It rips apart a father's soul. And it is happening to millions of men who thought marriage would give them family, but instead it stole family from them. This is the climax of the trap. A man stripped of authority, stripped of intimacy, stripped of money, stripped of his children, and still blamed for it all. And yet, there is a way out. Not by fighting the system from within, but by refusing to enter the system at all. The truth is simple. You do not need marriage to have love. You do not need marriage to have children. You do not need marriage to have companionship. What you need is freedom. The freedom to walk away from a bad situation. The freedom to keep the wealth you earned. The freedom to guide your life without a court, a contract, or a bitter spouse standing in your way. Single men are not missing out. They are choosing wisely. They keep their time, their energy, their money, their peace of mind. They can build businesses without compromise. They can travel, relocate, or take risks without dragging a reluctant partner. They can date without being chained to a contract that punishes them for life if it fails. They can have children through modern arrangements without gambling half their net worth. And most importantly, they can sleep at night knowing that no one has the legal power to destroy them with the stroke of a pen. This is not fear-mongering. It is reality. The marriage contract of the past is gone. It has been replaced by a system that rewards women and punishes men. That is why marriage rates are collapsing. That is why more and more men are walking away. Not because they hate love. Not because they hate women. But because they understand the risk is insane. So here's the decision in front of you. You can close your eyes and believe the fairy tale. You can walk into a contract that strips your freedom, your wealth, and your respect. And you can spend decades paying for that mistake. Or you can choose differently. You can choose to stay free. To build your own life on your own terms. To invest in yourself, instead of signing it all away. The choice is yours. But understand this. Your freedom, your happiness, and your future are too valuable to gamble on an institution designed to work against you. Do not sign away your life. Do not hand over your authority. Do not sacrifice your dignity for a fantasy that no longer exists. Stay strong, stay free, and never get married.